Unlimited Software Membership Training Webinar. How's everyone doing this afternoon? Can you hear me okay? Let's see in the chat box if you can hear me all right. Am I coming through loud and clear? Testing, 1, 2, 3. Looks good to me, but I'm not seeing anybody answer yet. Oh, Joy, you're having a heat wave, huh? Okay, great. Everybody can hear me. Okay, that's fantastic. Okay, guys, so the big news is the G-Alerts Reader plugin, which is just, we're just continuing to improve it, work out all the bugs. I think we've worked out all the kinks now. It works great. Here's, oops, what was that? I just, unfortunately, accidentally closed that tab. So we're up to version 1.3 now, and it's working very well. We've worked out all the RSS is now compliant with RSS Atom 2.0. Gary said he was posting with it last night, and it's awesome. Thanks, Gary. I definitely think it's awesome. It's like the best content that we've had. TalkWalker's not bad, but I don't think anything can really beat Google Alerts for when it comes to content that Google thinks is good, so this thing definitely works. Now, if you've had any issues with the plugin at all, there are certain things that you have to do in order for everything to work correctly. So I'll just sort of lay that out for you. One, please update to 1.3. The auto update should work, but I haven't seen it kick in yet. So the only thing is, if you do uninstall this plugin, it will remove all the data that you've accumulated. It makes a clean sweep. So you don't want to just go and uninstall it. What you might, if you don't have 1.3 yet and you're not seeing the update, you can use FTP to update. And if you don't know how to do that, I guess I'll just show you that really quickly, how to do that. Okay, so you're going to run FileZilla or whatever. Let's see what we got here. It's not going to work. Let's do this. Let's see. We go to log into your account. Everything always works weird when I'm running GoToWebinar, but hopefully this will work. Okay, so then you want to find the account where you want to upload it. Go into that account, the public HTML or whatever, and you'll know it because you're going to see this WP admin, WP content, and WP includes. Then you're going to go into WP content plugins, and you'll find the GA reader, and it might be -1.2 or whatever it is. Go into that directory. Now on your home computer, what you want to do is find the plugin file, the zip file here, and unzip it. So you're going to end up with the folder with the same name without the zip extension. So you go into that folder and you see all these files here, and they're all exactly the same as the files that you have inside your GA reader. So you can just either delete these files on your server or overwrite them by uploading all those files right there. Okay, so that's how you do it by FTP. I'm not going to do it right now, but I'm just so you have you know how to do that now because I just showed you, right? So I'm hoping this auto update's going to kick in so that you won't have to do the FTP. And also, if you're not if you're not really psyched with the alerts that you have already accumulated, you can go ahead and just delete the plugin on your server and upload the zip file as a plugin, and that's fine, and it'll start logging your alerts again, and it'll just create them all again. But any previous stories may not be restored. That's the only thing. So make sure you have 1.3 one way or another. If you want to wait a day or two until you see the update, that's fine. I do think that the latest code is definitely going to be the most stable. Okay, so to the next issue that people are having, I would say do not use a pre-existing Gmail account, Gmail or alerts account. No matter how much you like that account or you like those alerts from that existing account, you really should create a brand new Gmail account. And the way you do it is you go to gmail.com, create an account, and as soon as the account is created and it's asking you to upload a photo, don't do that. Just go google.com/alerts. Go right to the alerts and create some alerts, and then go right back to the plugin and log in with the plugin rather than logging in yourself. The reason for that is that Google has an automated system that checks your IP address, and it checks what locations that logins are coming from. So if you've been logging in from, say, Seattle, Washington for for months into that Gmail account, and then all of a sudden some server in New York or whatever tries to log in, then Google will throw up an issue and say, hey, this is not you, and then the plugin doesn't have the intelligence to deal with that, so basically it's just going to fail to log in. Rather than get stuck in all those kind of issues, the best thing that you can do is just create a brand new Gmail account and immediately create alerts and immediately put that into the plugin, okay? Yes, Grant is asking me if you delete the files by FTP the way I showed you, he's wondering if that's going to remove your saved alerts that you've already accumulated, and the answer is no. That's why you would do it by FTP, because that way you won't lose anything that's already in the database. If you use the WordPress function to delete the plugin, the code that's in the plugin will delete all the database tables when you remove the plugin. Okay, so that's why I was showing you how to use FTP. Pardon me. The auto update also will update it without giving you a problem. Okay, and I'm going to get that. I believe that works already, but I haven't seen it kick in yet. So. Okay, so that's what we do is don't use a pre-existing Gmail or alerts account that you've had for a couple of years or whatever. Create a new Gmail account, create the alerts before you ever log into that account. In fact, don't even log into that account, and then go back to your G-Alerts plugin and put the new login to that new account immediately, and it will immediately start to download your alerts right away. And you can forget it. You'll never have to use that. Don't ever use that account for anything else. Don't use it for your personal email or anything. Okay. 3. if you do run into some other error where that's like a connection timeout or something, which I believe the error number is 110. I don't want to confuse you with numbers, but I believe that's the number, the connect error that comes up. Then you're going to have to make sure that port 995 is open on the server where you have the plug-in installed. Okay, I don't think many people are having this problem at all, but I did run into Jeff last night had this problem. And we find out that, that was on his particular server, and it was on HostMonster, but he had a Windows server, and port 995 was just not working, so he couldn't log in. Yeah, Mark. Mark says when you create a new account, it automatically logs you in, so you can't avoid logging in. Well, this is a matter of semantics, Mark, because if you stop when it gets to the page where it asks you for the photo, then you're not really going to Gmail, okay? And that's what I'm saying. I hope that's clear. It's just really splitting hairs when you get down to a point like that. Okay, so I think these are the main the main issues. Call that like best practices. Pardon me, clear my throat a little bit. Okay, and we'll just put the date here so we know that 1.3 was appropriate on this particular date. For those who are watching the video later, it'll probably be higher than 1.3 when you watch this video. Patrick missed the previous email about license and download info. We'll resend the list. Patrick, please email support with your purchase email so we can research what happened to your license. Okay, thanks. Okay, so now we know what the best practices are. And we got it working, and then it works like this. If you have a problem with the connection, either your credentials are wrong or there's a blockage by a firewall or some other like that, you're going to get a notice right in here that says Zen protocol error, and it will give the error number. So if you have that, check your credentials. If the credentials are correct, then we're going to need to check the ports. And we have some special scripts that you can put on your server that will test the ports for this. Okay, so let us know if you have that problem. We will be including the scripts when we publish the plug-in to the market at large, which is going to be fairly soon, so that people can test themselves and see what's wrong if the port is closed or whatever. And then you might have to get on the phone with customer service of your hosting company and try to educate them about the port that needs to be open, 995. Pardon me. Assuming you've got the plugin running okay, then we'll go on to the next phase, which is how do we use the plugin. And I'm going to move on to ICC Express, but I'm going to start with ICC Pro because I spent a little time working for my ICC Pro customers who are my oldest and longest customers. You guys, I've got you all working on ICC Express, which is where you should be. You should become a black belt in ICC Express. So I'm going to be creating some black belt training. Basically, I'm going to create training for every level: yellow belt, orange belt, green belt, blue belt, red belt, and black belt training for ICC Express. So that's going to be coming for all the members soon. In the meantime, let's just take a look at what we got going on here with Instant Content Curator Pro. You see here I've added a whole new field right here, which is the G-Alerts Reader plugin main feed URL. And when I created the G-Alerts plugin, I created this special link right here, which is the software link, okay? Yes, Joy, call me Sensei, call me Sabum Nim. I actually do hold a black belt in Taekwondo. Want to get you guys all becoming black belts in curation. So I created this one URL right here, which I call it the main RSS feed to all keywords, and this is for software access, right? So what we do is we take this URL right here and we plug it in to this field right here, and then we save. So then we go to curate. We now have two different areas to choose alerts from. This area here is the TalkWalker alerts, and this area here holds the G-Alerts plugin alerts. So if I already have like Audio Engineer selected here, which doesn't match with dog training, but that's okay. I'm not really coordinating these accounts. I don't use this program too much myself anymore. So we've got Audio Engineer selected here. So if we open the news, you can see there's a lot of stuff about audio engineering in here. It's TalkWalker alerts, so they do mix in a lot of blog stuff. And I want to say music engineer training at Audio Recording School. If I just choose that. You can also pick a different template 2. Now some of you may actually like ICC Pro better than ICC Express. I don't know. Some of my customers do. Let's choose template 2 and then the same one. Where was that? Music engineer training at Audio Recording School. And as you can see, we now have a really nicely templated post with the keyword bolded and the title of the curated article in H2, the author attribution, and the link back, pre-curation, post-curation, keyword inserted, and a call to action that you can edit. You could also now go over and get yourself an image or a video. Let's go ahead and insert this. And now you can also look at the source article over here. So now in the editor, we do have this. You can even play the video in the editor in ICC Pro, which you can't really do in ICC Express, but that's okay. I'm not going to post this on dog training only. This is just for demonstration. Okay, so now I showed you how I use the TalkWalker alert. Now let me show you the G-Alerts. These are all about dogs, right? So I'm just going to pick dog because it probably has the largest amount. Oh, they all have news pretty quickly. I'm going to pick dog, and it loads the feeds here. And look at all this news we have for dog right in here. It's really quite remarkable. It just goes on. And with the scrolling, you can scroll to the whole thing. The other thing about G-Alerts plugin is that it's not going to stop adding. It's not going to stop adding these stories. So it's just going to get longer and longer unless you go back here. We currently don't have the option for you to delete individual stories, but what you can do is completely reset your feed by clicking the green button. That will remove all the stories, but it will leave the keyword. So the keyword will show up with 0, and it'll start all over again. by doing that, you will like clear this list out and start again with new news, right? So you can really keep yourself current and not have to wade through a lot of stuff. So you might want to do that every week, if you want. Curate all week long with all the new articles, and then at the end of the week, just click that green button to reset the stories and start getting new stories in, okay? But the cool thing here is that you have control over that, whereas previously Google would, limit it to, I think, 20 stories. So that's one reason why this is even better than Google Alerts ever was. So there we go. And let me just pick one and we'll just see what it looks like. Presidential dog Sonny walks outside the White House. We have to get the author in here on this. We'll do that. It's Washington Post. The source article is here. I'm not sure if there's some problem with curating from Washington Post or not. I'd have to ask Dr. Kilstein about that, probably. It's going to be something at the bottom of the page that says do not reprint or whatever. Or I think if you give attribution, it's going to be fine, personally. If you see that little thing pop up here that says something about a certificate, just click OK and make it go away. That's all. It has something to do with the source article loading in here and a certificate, so just click it away. Okay, so that's how G-Alerts works in ICC Pro. And we can, of course, switch to another feed, and then we've got all different stories in here. And it's a little bit less for the dog toys than there is for a big word like dog, but it does accumulate over time, and there will be more and more stories in here. See, we got their Cuddly Toys Journey into Space, and these are good stories. I mean, look, they're all coming from high PR websites, so we have some really good outgoing authority links. The source article here is the Telegraph. If you needed to, get some extra text to curate, you could just do that, copy it, and go back here and put it inside the quotes like this. Okay, so that's ICC Pro. Let's take a look at how it works in ICC Express. And if you haven't upgraded to 1.1.3 yet, you should do that. I had to clear my throat. I hope you didn't hear that. Okay, so on our settings page, as you know, we have a bunch of profiles. It's very, kind of similar to ICC Pro. It's quite better, I think, IC Express, and much more programmable, really, on my end. But if you go to Curation Sources, you're going to see there's a fourth tab now in Curation Sources. And previously, I was adding the individual feeds one by one to my RSS feeds from the G-Alerts, as you can see. But now we have a whole new way of doing this, which is that we go to this tab, the G-Alerts plugin URL tab, and then we go back to the plugin page that we want to curate from, and copy this link, the top one, the special top link that says main RSS feed to all keywords. Copy that link in this text box, or you can also right-click and copy link address here. Go back to ICC Express and paste that URL into this text field here. You can load it, which will show you what feeds it contains. As you can see, they're all here. And then I'm going to save it to that profile. So if I switch to another profile up here, you're going to see that's going to disappear. And these should actually disappear too. If we keep switching to where there's another, it's okay. It's just no big deal. It's probably because that plugin has been deleted with all the testing. That's probably what happened. So I'm just going to keep going through. Those are URLs that I've already saved, which are they're no good because I've been uninstalling and reinstalling and uninstalling and reinstalling plugins, you know, to test them and stuff. So I'm just going to start putting in some that work. That's what I'll do. Just as VVC test 3, that one works. So we'll go back to paste that in, save it, and then load it. See, now we've got this financial things here, right? What do we have on science fiction? That's going to be bad too. So let's see. We got it's science fiction wisely. When you see these errors, like I said, it's because I have had I've just been testing these plugins so much that I've changed them, and these URLs are not good anymore. So I'm going to just copy this one now, put it back in here, save it, and load that one. That one worked fine. See, it's when they work when you have the new ones. When you have ones that don't exist, then yeah, you're going to have some problems. So now that one works. ToCat, VVC test 3. This one works, and you see it reloaded here. Go back to cat and watch the feeds reload. You see, actually it's supposed to be it's dog, you know, but when I switch my profile, it automatically re-downloads the G-Alerts feeds, as you can see. Okay, so I switch again, takes a second, but now we're back on financial news. And I switch back again, and now we're back on the dog things. Okay, so this is the same way it works in the Curate screen. And currently we're putting the TalkWalker alerts first here. So what you want to do is open this middle selector here, which we call the news source selector. This is the profile selector, this is the news source selector, and this is the feed selector. And this is the story selector. Okay, so for the news source, I'm going to go ahead and select G-Alerts Reader, and immediately my G-Alerts feeds are loaded and my stories from that plugin are loaded. And look at them all. Look at all the stories that I have. Laser targeted Google content right here. Okay, it's awesome. Now let's go ahead and pick one. Again, we've got the templating. Let's say dogs in jail. Click the blue one. And as you can see, folks, I removed all that weird guidance tags that I had in there before because I thought it was just too much. It was too much work for everyone, so I just left the text. So you know that you got to mark this up and you got to make it into something unique that's yours. Okay, so but we got everything templated really super nice, and you've got all this wonderful content to choose from now. Let's try that again. German Shepherds now. Let's see what we got. canine officer honored posthumously. I know the feeling. Okay, so obviously cat toys is not the right keyword, but the idea is to coordinate and plan a keyword strategy, and of course that would start with Keyworks software. By the way, I issued an update to Keyworks recently too, which is pretty super nice, and you can have a taste of what we've got going for you in the Keyword Explorer area, which is different from the Google search, and we'll be enhancing the exploration and analyzing areas of the keywords as we go forward. Well, you want to start with keywords, get your keywords, create your structure with Silo Factory, that import all those keywords into your profile, so then they're all coordinated with ICC Express for that profile. Okay, so then your keywords, your feeds, and everything works in concert with each other. Okay, Sandy has a good question. When you clear your alerts by clicking this green button, does it change the URL? No, it does not, Sandy. However, if you delete it, it probably will. If you click the red button and delete an alert, a keyword from your alerts, it doesn't delete it from Google, okay? It just deletes it from your database. And if you were to go and delete the same keyword from Google from your alerts, then you'll never get that alert again. Well, let's say if I deleted dog from this plugin by clicking the red button here, but I still have the dog alert on Google, the next time the plugin logs into the Gmail account, it's going to find more alerts about dog, and it's going to recreate it. It may or may not be the same URL when it gets recreated. So keep that in mind. If you don't really want to delete it from the blog, just click the green one or don't do anything. If you really do want to delete it from this account, you really must delete it on Google and on the plugin. Hope that's clear. Okay, so that pretty much covers everything that I wanted to go over today with you guys about the G-Alerts plugin. If you don't have yours yet, somehow get in touch, because I definitely did send it out to everyone who's a member. Everyone who's a member in good standing of our unlimited membership should have received the email with that, because I spent quite a bit of time creating that list and sending them out last week. And I'll be doing that with Keyworks and the Silo Factory. That's coming up really soon. Okay, so that pretty much covers everything that I wanted to go over today with you guys. If you guys have any questions about this material, please go ahead and put them in the chat box now. Not seeing anything. I guess I must have really been quite comprehensive in my exposition. Okay, so we don't have any questions about G-Alerts plugin. Hi, Mel. If you have any questions about anything else I can help you with, please let me know. Hi, Dave. And just put in the chat box, what is the file name for the G-Alerts plugin download, asks Grant. It's GA-reader-version number.zip is what the file name is. Grant, is that what you wanted to know? Okay. Sandy's asking me maybe if it covered this with all the updates. What are the main differences between ICC Pro and ICC Express? You mean overall, like what's the difference between the two, Sandy? I'm happy to explain that. I just want to make sure I understand your question. Hi, Joy. Yes, I'll go over the sequence of steps using GAlerts again. Let me answer Sandy's question first, and then I'll do that. Well, there's some very important differences. Although ICC Pro, with my latest update with the GAlerts, it really actually makes it better than it's ever been before. But there's some major differences. Hi, Mel. Okay, we're going to get to your question in just a minute. Okay, we're going to talk about, just for a moment, talk about the difference between ICC Pro and ICC Express here. One of the main differences of ICC Pro and ICC Express was that originally ICC Express only allowed you, ICC Pro, excuse me, the first one, only allowed you to have access to one alerts account, so that you would have one alerts account and then curate to all of their different profiles from that. But now with the GAlerts plugin, that's no longer the case, because you can now have a separate plugin URL for each profile, which means you can access a completely different set of Google alerts for every single profile. That's also true with ICC Express. So that's not about what's different, but that's about how you're right, they're getting similar in that way. If you got your hands on this GAlerts Reader plugin, you've just opened like a whole new door to amazing content, not only with ICC Express, but also with ICC Pro. The other main difference that ICC Pro has, I didn't really say that the main difference is it has an ezine article curation section here. It appears like there might be a little bug in there, but I'm not sure, but let's see. Okay, so if you have your API key for ezine articles, you can curate ezine articles. If you have the key, it's going to download the categories here. You can click on any category, and it loads the latest stories here. You can click on a story, and it shows the story on the bottom here. And if you want to curate that article, you see this big button that comes in the middle. You just click on that. It takes a second, but it'll load up that article now in the editor. And it uses template 1. I don't believe at the current time there's a way to do template 2 with ezine. So you're going to have to delete this and create your own curation. If it comes out red, you can change it here to black and click I to get rid of the italic. No, that didn't work. So go to source, just get rid of that P, style equals red. I'll do some more coding and we'll get rid of that. And then you go to the bottom and you put your other curation. The way to avoid the red is just click after it, and then it comes out normal like that. Whatever you want to put here, you can put it a picture, a video. The only thing is, with ezine articles, folks, do not change anything inside the article, and do not change anything inside the resource box at the end. This is the terms of service that you agree to to curate using articles, and you must have this article source attribution at the bottom, just the way they say. If you don't do that at all, you could get in trouble. You can put anything else you want, and that's great content for you to curate. Okay, so we don't have this on ICC Express yet. I'll probably get around to putting it into ICC Express, especially if you folks tell me you want it. Okay, but I haven't heard a lot of interest in that, which is why I haven't reprogrammed it into ICC Express. So if you want, you could just use ICC Pro for this. It's a great program. It works wonderfully. It's, like I said, some people just even like it a lot better than ICC Express, just because of the look and feel of it. Is, you know, a little more, it looks sort of more like an antique, which it is. And ICC Express is the more modern Flex style of programming. The other thing that's different in, you know, I think the main thing, Sandy, that's different with ICC Express is the fact that ICC Express integrates now directly with ICC Keyworks. So you can design your keyword strategy and keywords and zap it, you know, to your blog, and also it also automatically then gets zapped into ICC Express. So now you've got keywords. The keywords are associated with the profile. And that's, we don't have anything like that in ICC Pro, not in the slightest. So we've got this whole matrix in ICC Express for keywords, matching the profiles, and then being available for video search, for image search, for news searching. And ICC Express, you know, plays around at that kind of thing, but it just simply does not have the infrastructure to coordinate the kind of keyword structure that we're building with ICC Keyworks and the Silo Factory integrating with ICC Express. It's a whole system. ICC Pro is just a program, okay? I know there's more. There's a lot more. Oh, here's another thing that you guys probably don't know about yet. Last week, when I issued 1.1.3 of ICC Express, I integrated Facebook and Twitter and Bitly into ICC Express. That is definitely not in ICC Pro. So now, if you want to do some curating, that's happening because I've got the wrong plugin URL. So let me just fix that and save that. It's an old one that I uninstalled. So if I've got I've got a Facebook account installed correctly into this, now I can go to curate, and when I go to curate this, you'll notice that I now have two extra boxes here, one for my Facebook account and fan pages, and one for my Twitter accounts, which I haven't programmed in here yet. So when you click post, it's going to post that post to your blog, and it's going to get the permalink, and then it's going to come back, and any Facebook fan page or account that you have selected in here, it will bookmark that post onto Facebook and onto Twitter. So we never had this in ICC Express before, and we now have this. So it's really opens up a whole new field of not only being able to curate with ICC Express to your blog, but also to bookmark those posts. And what's more, we're currently working on a scheduling feature for the Facebook posting. So you'll be able to click this post, and over here you'll be able to set the date with a little calendar when you want the bookmark to appear. That's coming soon. It's also coming to VVC Pro and VIC Pro. So there's probably more, Sandy, more things about why it's different. I mean, it's just like I said, it's a system. It's not just a program. And the system integrates with the other tools. So let's move on. Mel has got a number of good questions in here, and I'm going to get into them. But first, I'm going to address Joy's question, which was that she would like me to go through the whole sequence of steps again using G-alerts. And I'm not going to do it real long, but I will go ahead and go through the steps. Let me save this. Never sure where I should save all this stuff. So many so many directories. Let's see. Okay, G-alerts unlimited 30911-01. Okay, great. So one, okay, install the plugin. By the way, I hope you've seen I've got, very, very comprehensive training videos on the G-alerts. Joy, did you see those? Because I covered everything in sequence in those training videos, and they're quite comprehensive. I'm going to run through it here again for you, but you should definitely watch those videos because they're short. They cover every point, 1, 2, 3, or 5, done, okay? So first you're going to install the plugin. 2, create a new Gmail account. Verify it. They ask you for SMS or a phone call. You must verify it. 3, after verification, don't go forward to Gmail. Instead, 4, go to http://google.com/alerts and create some alerts. Do not log out of the account you just created, okay? 5, return to okay, I forgot one step, which I'll just put in number 1, which is validate your license, okay, right? You have to do this. So install a plugin, validate the license, then create a new Gmail account, verify it. After verification, don't go on to Gmail. Instead, type google.com/alerts into your browser immediately and just create some new alerts. It's really simple. Return to your blog, G-alerts, admin, and enter the credentials for the account account you just created. Sometimes when I try to type too fast, it's like they get ahead of themselves and the fingers get ahead of themselves. Okay, so you enter the credentials for the account you just created and click, save those, whatever it says. And then 6, presto, your new alerts will show up in a list, okay? That's basically all the steps on a no problem installation of G-alerts, okay? 7, if you have a Zend protocol exception, it could be one of a couple things. It could be A, you entered the wrong Gmail credentials or password. Your hosting company does not have port 995 open, which is the Gmail secure POP3 port. Okay, so that is basically the whole thing. That's it. It's pretty freaking simple. Okay. Let me just title this to a. I think what happens is some people are trying to use Gmail accounts that they already own, and then they're having problems, and they're coming back saying there's something wrong with the plugin. That's not right. Google has this whole security system that makes you verify, so if you've been logging in from one area or two different geographical locations and then you try to have a plug-in and you don't know where that server is, it could be in Timbuktu, and Google's like, who is this in Timbuktu trying to log into your account? So it's going to not let the plug-in log in. So you have to understand that's why we say make a new account. Don't mess around that account. Just make it dedicated to G-Alerts. Okay. Make that a little nice color there. And we're done. Okay, Joyce, so there's your step-by-step. Does that help? Oh, no. Next steps in the software. Well, as I said before, you go to Curation Sources. Now, G-Alerts plugin URL. Get the top URL here, the main RSS feed, and you put it in this field here and save it. After you do that, you come to Curate, and you just go on the second drop down here and select G-Alerts Reader, and all your feeds from that G-Alerts plugin from that URL that you entered will show up in this list, and all the news comes up in this button. Okay? Joy, does that answer your question? Yes or no? Well, okay, great. Great, Joy, that's got it. Good. All right. Pardon me. Let's move on. Next question. Mel. Mel says, I'm new here. I've not gone through all the software yet. Just wondering which option would be best for a client I need to do blog posting for and have it also go to Facebook. I tried a few out there, and I could post and have it go to Facebook Live, but I could not schedule it. I'm going to suggest, Mel, the easiest software tool for you to get started with to get great traffic pulling content is going to be Viral Video Curator Pro. It's probably the least complex and the quickest result getting software that we have. We are currently in the process of programming in the scheduled posts on Facebook, but we currently do not have that. I do apologize, but we just don't have that yet. But I actually am investing resources at the current time to make that happen. There's been such a big, a huge popularity of Facebook in the IM community in the last couple of weeks, especially because of Don Wilson's FP Ads Correct launch. And so everybody needs this, so we're working on it. So just stay tuned, Mel. We should hopefully I'll have that within a week. We'll be able to schedule our Facebook posts. And Mel goes on to say, By the way, he did use another content curator, and it was very bad. So we won't ask you which one that was. There's a few of them out there. You can put it in the chat box if you want to, though. And he says he's very excited to use ICC Pro or IC Express, and I don't blame you because they're awesome. I think in a lot of ways they're kind of better than a lot of the stuff that's out there. Yeah, Sandy, it's quite an evolution, hasn't it? Things are really moving along. Simon asking me, is there a document that gives an overview of how the tools work together best? And that's a great question, and that's something that I need to produce, and I will be doing that. Obviously, I'm sort of still engineering the system, and definitely as soon as I get keyword, because since I took away the keyword tool, we need a little bit more than just the keyword planner to really make things good. And if you check the latest version of Keyworks, you'll see that I've got a new section called the Keyword Explorer coming along quite nicely, which gives you like 1,000 of keywords, you know. And then we're going to have the analysis section, which will really be able to drill down into the keywords and see what kind of power they really have, rather than just taking Google's word for everything. So of course, Keyworks, I think, is going to be one of the most important parts of the whole system, and so we're putting a lot of focus on getting that ready to roll out. Once we do that, we're going to have I'm going to create that whole black belt training series that I mentioned before, and that's going to cover everything. It's going to be a complete, but we need one document too, Simon, like you said, so like a getting started guide on all of them. We do pretty much have getting started guides on pretty much all the software, but not a whole overview of how they all work together, so we'll be getting that for you soon. Bob's got a good question here. Do we still need a separate Gmail account for each subject matter to curate, like each niche? Well, you don't need to, Bob, but it's recommended if you want to have a powerful, powerful presence online with different niches. So let me show you. I did make a diagram. If you can see this, Bob. This diagram shows you basically how I would set up. It just shows you how 2 accounts would work, but you can actually scale this to as many accounts on Google as you can get approved. You know, I just noticed that after about 10 accounts, they wouldn't let me validate on the same phone again until I switched to voice call, and then it worked. So I don't know what the limits are in Google, but there's a lot of different strategies. You can use different phones or different email addresses or whatever, but you can create more than one Gmail account, and on each one of those Gmail accounts, then you immediately make your alerts for a separate niche on each account. So you might have, for example, here's 2 accounts. One of them is going to deal with the niche called dune buggies, and one of them is going to deal with the niche of guitars. And you can see I've got the keywords, just a few listed out here and some listed out here. So these will be the alerts. Now here's blog number 1, dunebuggy.com, and here's blog number 2, guitarbuddies.com. Each one has a G-Alerts plugin. This dunebuggy.com will be importing alerts from this Gmail number 1, which is all about dune buggies. Guitarbuddies.com blog G-Alerts plugin will be importing stories about guitars. And then we go to ICC Express, and on our Dune Buggy profile, we're going to put the main keyword feed URL from this top plugin, the Dune Buggy comp, and on the Guitar Buddies profile, we're going to import the main keyword feed URL from the plugin on the GuitarBuddies.com site. That way, when we switch our profiles on ICC Express, we'll be targeting those two different blogs separately for posts, and we'll automatically get the niche-related content as we switch profiles from one to the other. The content will change to the niche. Does that make sense, Bob? Does that explain it for you? Yes, it's very cool. So he should be okay until he starts the 10th niche to curate. Well, I don't know. We'll see. Just switch phones on Google, and then they won't give you a problem. Like get your wife's phone or something. That's what I'm going to do. Oh, Melanie. I'm sorry. I was calling Mel a him, and it's a her. So how lovely, Mel. Nice to meet you. Melanie. Okay, so Grant says he just downloaded 1.1. Yeah, but you should throw that away and get 1.3, okay? I'm going to put the URL for that in the chat box for you real quick so everybody has it. I got to load my S3 browser to get that for you. Oh, Bob, you got a lot of relatives whose phone you can use. That's cool. You can ask a question about Keyworks, Sandy, if you want to. Keyworks is a new program, Mel. I haven't really released it to the group yet. Some people are beta testing it so far. If you want to be a beta tester, are you in our Facebook group, Mel? Okay, well, you should join the Facebook group so then I can bring you into the beta testers if you want, and you can get on Keyworks right away before I release it. I haven't released it to the public at large yet. Okay, so let me get the URL for you. Okay, guys, I'm sending the latest download link for the GA Reader, G-Alerts Reader. I just sent it in the chat box to everyone, so I hope you all received that. That is where you get the latest and most stable version. And I will say the previous versions do have some issues, so definitely get on to 1.3 as soon as you can. Okay, so did I miss anybody's question here? Oh, Sandy, you wanted to ask me something about Keyworks? Okay. Sandy says, if I have a list of keywords already in my profile, then I add some new ones, are the new keywords added to the profile at the bottom, or do the new ones get inserted among the existing keywords according to the number of searches? I don't understand where we're adding them, Sandy. Where are we adding these keywords? To what? And from where? I don't really understand the context. Is this ICC Express or Keyworks, or what are we talking about? Keyworks. Okay, so you're talking about when you find keywords and then you save them to your hierarchy? Is that what you mean? Probably they go to the bottom, Sandy, and then you just drag and drop them into the order that you want, make them children or parents, and then save the hierarchy. And if you haven't seen the latest version yet, you should get it because we've really, really cleaned that area up. It's really good now. It really works a lot better than before. Gary is asking me if the G-Alerts update available. I have programmed that in, Gary, but I haven't seen the update notice yet. And it's a lot different from desktop software, which seems to be like immediate, but the WordPress auto update seems to take 24 to 48 hours to propagate to your blog, so I'm a little bit annoyed with that. So I'll be looking into that and making sure that that works correctly. In the meantime, you might, if you want to save data you've already accumulated with the plugin, you may have to use FTP to do your update without removing the data that you already had. If you don't care about deleting the data you already have, then just delete the plugin on the WordPress blog and install the new version and revalidate and re-implement your same Gmail account, and they'll all show up again. You've asked, Gary, you're asking me again to have the same question, will it show up in the auto update? And I just said it's supposed to. Since it's such a new plugin, I haven't seen it have time to start kicking into the auto update. It takes 24 to 48 hours with WordPress. I'm expecting it to show up, and if it doesn't, that means that there's something wrong and I'm going to have to go in and fix it. So let's look for that. We'll be looking for it. Let me know if you do see the auto update show up. No problem, Gary. You can repeat as many times as you want. I don't care. I'm sorry if I sounded annoyed, because I'm not. I'll repeat whatever you need repeated. I'm happy to repeat it. Grant's asking me, in general, are the latest software versions available on the Actionable Intelligence website? Generally, they are. There's some little problems that we're dealing with there. I probably should update the download on the Actionable Intelligence. I probably have not had a chance to do that yet. I'll do that right now. Sandy's asking me, when updating the plugin, when you delete it rather than FTP, you are just deleting the alerts that are already there. When you reinstall it, it will repopulate it with the newest alerts. That's correct. It will log in to your Gmail inbox and get whatever's there and just start it all over again. The download links on the websites are sometimes strange. I've found that with this Adobe Air, Windows has a tendency to try to save Adobe Air files as zip files, which really makes people get confused. So if you a plugin is always a zip file, and an Air file is always an Air file, but for some reason the Air files get saved as zips by Windows, and that's not cool. So you got to be aware of that. Windows just thinks Air files are zip files. I don't really know why. Well, I do know why, because an Air file is actually a kind of a zip file, but it has a different file extension. So I'm going to update this download link. Does anyone else have any new questions that they need answered? Okay, I'm putting the latest, get out of here, putting the latest link now to the latest version, which I should have done before, but I still need like a secretary to do all this stuff for me. Okay, so now we have the latest link for the G-Alerts on the Actionable Intelligence website for everyone. Okay, so if you're using anything less than 1.3, you should get that one. Yes, Sandy, there are two controls over here on the right of each feed, a green one and a red one. The green one resets the feed to 0 stories. The right one deletes the feed off the plugin, but not off of Google. Okay, Sandy? You're welcome, Grant. My pleasure. Okay, awesome. Okay, do we have any more questions? No questions coming in, so so that's it for today, folks. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for enjoying. I hope you enjoyed it. Hey, Joy, my pleasure. Bob, really thrilled to have you here. Sandy, great to see you. Real great to have everyone here and in using our software. It's really great that we can help people do cool things. And Mel, it's great to meet you and know you too. Thanks for being here. Gary, thanks so much for coming. And everyone else, have a great day. Kathleen, great to see you. Wonderful to have you here. Yes, Andy, my software has changed a lot from the beginning. It sure has. I've learned so much. I've learned a lot personally, professionally, and in a programming sense, in just about every sense you can imagine in the last year and a half. And thanks for being along with me. I really appreciate that. Okay, guys, so you guys have a great, great day. Hit me up on Facebook, Skype, email if you need me. I'm here for you. And have a wonderful week, and I'll talk to you soon, guys. Okay. Have a great one. Yeah, connect with me, Kathleen. Let's work it out. Okay? All right, guys. Awesome. Have a great day. Talk soon. Bye.
The organizer has